And we are live. Hello, guys. Whew,
Hello,
basketball vibes.
hello.
Yeah.
We
Whew.
live. And if you're coming in, please don't forget to put your thumbs up, and show your support.
Yep. Be sure to show your support. Also, subscribe if you have not already subscribed yet. It really helps us out. We're just going to wait a few minutes before we actually get started. We're going to be talking about the season finale of Basketball Wives and also pretty much everything that has been going on. So we're just going to wait a few more minutes. Yeah, this was so far, what do you think about the season?
Well, I thought um this season was just absolutely I mean, I okay, let me just say it was short for sure. It was very interesting. I think that we learned a lot. Um, a lot of a lot of interesting things. I'll just put it there happen with a lot of people being exposed.
Hmm.
We found out something, and some things were shed to light,
Right.
and a lot of closures um were needed. But the
Hmm.
season was short that we didn't really get to really discuss the main issue, and that was the colorism issue.
Hmm.
And I think that there's not a closure to it. And I thought, and that's kind of like what I was looking forward was that was if there was a resolution to that. But unfortunately, it wasn't. It did not. It didn't even end in good terms. Just like last season, it was still and something that was very ongoing. So it was kind of very disappointing to see that. We didn't really. There was no resolution to that. So
Yeah. I mean, this season taught me this life has no balance at all. It has no balance at all. It taught me, I mean, of course, just always be firm in whatever you believe in. Never allow anybody to persuade you or sway you to do something that you know deep down you don't believe in, or you are not. It's not who you are. Although, unfortunately, it didn't work out for me. It worked out for OG, but the cat people in the cast, her castmates didn't have her back, and they were just pretty much out to make her look crazy, and that's all it was.
yeah, but she also
Oh, I
had
think you
like,
may be cutting off, Lucy. You may be like
huh?
your audio is like cutting off.
Okay, let me check. Let me adjust some things. Are you able to hear me now?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you're right about that, but also OG also had her own back. Like she said, she didn't really need anyone to have her back. But it's sad that they're like, oh, this is a sisterhood, and we're in this journey, and it's just like the production really made OG sound like she was the crazy one. They try to outcast her. But guess what? OG had her own back. She had those receipts. She had those. And and I was like, OG really didn't need anyone. Once I think about it, she made that clear. So I thought that OG definitely definitely exposed, like I was saying, it was some things that we learned, and OG definitely gave us that. So yeah, she definitely shared a lot with us.
Yeah, for
What were your
sure. Yeah, for sure. OG definitely, she gave us a lot of content queen. She really did, especially with all of her recordings. I just wish that the ladies were a little bit more mature enough to really understand that this is not just a basketball wives or a show issue. This is more of a global topic. It happens globally, it happens worldwide, and this is a bigger issue, and they didn't take it seriously. I think that they really, even if they were to do anything that involves like women empowerment or anything, I don't even think a lot of people are going to be willing to support them just because when it comes to a woman on your show, you completely dismissed her. You dismissed her, everything she had to say and stuff. So why should people support you? You know, and let's just, things happen, things change, the roles will reverse, and there's going to be a time where you're going to need people. You're going to be hoping that people, especially Black women, support you. Um, and it may not be happening now, but things always change. So
Yeah, and it definitely should have been a teacher moment. Like you said, it wasn't just something that was experienced in the show. It was something that, again, that a lot of us has experienced, a society, like within a society, a lot of people are going through. And I think that OG, and I really have to give it up to OG, because I felt like she was definitely educating these women, which she should have, it wasn't her place to. This was something that they should have known, what colorism, and it's like they're misplacing colorism with racism. And it's just, it tells you that then it seems like either it's intentional or not intentional, that color that, like, there's colorism is taking place within the show. And it's just like it's left under, like, not discussed. We had an instance where Evelyn, called Cece when she used that term ling ling. And that was, it's just all these things that are intent. I don't know if it's intentional or unintentional, that some of the words that have been used. So I think that it was a moment where, OG, where she came to the season, actually to the show. I think that OG is definitely a very significant figure to this show. It definitely gave the show a different twist, bringing OG to the show, because I think that she definitely was what the show was needing, what the show was lacking. Someone who was very out free, who's very outspoken, who didn't back down, who said what she felt, and just came from a very, very ed- um very intuitive man, like, background. So I definitely think that OG definitely had it this season for these ladies.
okay, so let's talk about the season finale. So in the season finale, pretty much, you know, the ladies all come and gather as one and try to conclude that OG is the problem. Like, she's apparently, OG is the root of everything that has been going on within the group. Like, everything, it's like everything, let's blame OG. So we also get that Jackie pretty much tells OG to leave, like, not directly like that, but OG was like, if you want me to leave, I want Jackie to be able to tell me. And pretty much Jackie didn't say directly, but she insinuated, I think it's time for OG to go because they're all getting along, and OG is just making the vibe, like bringing the vibe down. I couldn't help myself but just kind of, chuckle because I'm just like, Jackie, you last year when all of the ladies were trying to ice you out and didn't want to invite you to any of the events, OG was the only person to be there for you. And the time that she needs you the most, you completely let her down, you know? Let her down. So what are your thoughts about like, Jackie's role in all of this?
Um, I was disappointed with Jackie because I felt like Jackie was more so of covering everything up. Even from the beginning, it was more so of her made it seem again, production made it seem as if Jackie was trying to get OG to forget that this ever happened. Like this, that OG didn't basically was trying to tell like shadow her from her experience. Like kind of take from her. Like, kind of she didn't experience it. So I feel like Jackie was more so of, let's just go back to the old us and, let's forget all of this, that this ever happened. And then it just kind of brings to my attention that Jackie was like in a couple seasons ago, Jackie was all um called a cup called a
Hold
color.
on, Lucy. Do you want to just come back in because you're like breaking up your audio?
Uh, okay, let me try something. Okay. Okay, can you hear me now? Is it okay?
Yeah, it's better.
Okay. Yeah, so I mean Jackie definitely played, I mean the role that Jackie played, I was to me again is disappointing. I thought that she would should have done better with having OG's back, period. Cause it seems like because OG has always had Jackie's back. So it was definitely something that Jackie could have done to return a favor, but she didn't. And again, it could be different because again, OG production made it seem like everyone was all after OG. So
Yeah, even Jennifer too. I'm just like, Jennifer, like last year you had a drink spilled in your face. You've had, people turn their back on you. You've had people accusing you of starting a rumor, talking about people's kids. And when everybody tried to ice you out, OG still was able to film with you and still remain cordial with you. She didn't let the collective's like opinion persuade how she felt. And it's kind of like when it's time for others, like people to have like be there for OG, it's kind of like no one is there. So that is pretty much that's why I said this life has no balance. This show has no balance. And I'm just kind of thinking like, why are these women so will do bend backs, will do anything to fit in or be a part of a group? Like, why are they, why are they so willing and doing whatever they can possible to be a part of, as OG would say, the collective?
that's true. That's a good question. Mm. And it's funny because OG, like when the sisters came in, right? OG also told them, like, it's good that she doesn't want to voice out her opinion about the collectives. It was good that the sisters get to know them, and she doesn't want to air out her opinion about or give her or kind of give them and say, okay, her opinion about them, like Evelyn and Shawnee and Malaysia and Kristen. She just wanted them to still meet them, get to know them and stuff. So it was like, I don't know why they're making OG seem like she is the she's
Pretty much the
she's a bad person.
problem.
Yeah, like
Hmm.
she's a problem here. And I was just like, it was not that way. Oh, like when we look at it, OG is like the outcast. Like they exited her out, and her audios are just exposing one thing after the other about what's really happening behind closed doors. And it's just it seems like everyone wants to be so quick to, again, like you said, jump into the collective, join the collectives. No one's really not ready to stand out. And I'm thinking maybe because I mean everyone wants to collect a check, right? Everyone there is ready to collect the check regardless of what it is, regardless if it goes, if they know what's right or if they know like, what's, what it is. But again, I feel like everyone's just there to collect a check.
Exactly. And for Jackie to be like the matriarch of the show, it doesn't appear so. She's so quick to, side with whatever she feels that, benefits her or, that keeps the show going. But I really do feel that in a way, like people, because everyone's really just so tired of it, we're like in a rim of where reality television, even like, although Bravo shows are not the best, but everyone wants to move into a positive light. Like if you see other VH1 shows, every show wants to move into a positive light and actually address things. They might not address it the best way, but they're trying to do the best they can. But when it comes to this show, it's kind of like they want to be dismissive. Oh, it never happened.
Exactly. Like the main person, I feel like a lot of things would have changed if Shawnee O'Neal, LaShonda O'Neal would have
Oh,
addressed
listen, LaShonda. Look, I can't say.
LaShonda. I'm gonna use her government name, Ashandra O'Neal. If she would have really sat down with OG and spoke with OG, really got down to the root of this, I think that it would have just like um really changed a few things, and she did not. And I really want to ask Shawnee, how come you did not sit with OG? Even if you felt any different, you are the producer, you are one of the top dogs. Like you did not go and say, I need to have this one-on-one with OG. We have some unfinished business that we need to get down to. Like, even if you had your differences, or you felt like you don't think that there's a colorism issue, you could at least heard OG out. Okay, heard her out. That's what a lot of these shows around her are addressing. But it just seems like Shawnee was still stuck in her ways, and she had the nerve to actually leave that sisterhood getaway instead of really addressing the issue.
She did. Like, she literally ran out. Like, oh, it's like you haven't. What is going on? Like, you haven't even sat down with OG. You haven't even seen her throughout this trip, and you're so bothered by OG, who's not even.
Yeah, but and you're here, and it's like she's hearing things from other people that, and if she's drawing her own conclusion, it's like go and speak with OG, have a sit down talk with OG. This could have been a chance for you to nip all these things together, so hopefully you all can move on, or make some sort of resolution to all of this. But no, she left. She was like, "Oh, I need to have my this is not my piece. This." Well, Shawnee, that's the point. Like that was the whole purpose of the getaway. And I think that a lot of us were looking for this to actually happen, where Shawnee will have to sit down with OG. But no, that didn't happen.
Okay,
And
so
that right
I have
there,
a I have a theory. I feel like this is why Shawnee left. I think that Shawnee left because OG, last season, OG pretty much exposed like the plan, the why the Dorsey sisters actually came on the show. And I mean, of course, we all know Shawnee knows about it. So OG kind of broke the fourth wall, which production allowed her to break the fourth wall. OG didn't want to break it, but they allowed her. So pretty much OG was saying that the ladies, the Dorsey sisters, plan to use her to pretty much be on the show, and they pretty much like lied for them to be on first, so they can be on the show. And Shawnee was like, oh my gosh, she's exposing like the behind the scenes situation that's going on. So that was Shawnee's opportunity, her getaway to just like leave. And the funny thing is, all of the other ladies left. I'm just like, so, and that shows you how Shawnee, of course, the ringleader of the collective, influences Evelyn, Evelyn, Malaysia, and Kristen.
Exactly. And Shawnee could have also turned this whole ordeal into a positive, because if they follow her, why they could also follow her when Shawnee, was able had set up a meeting with OG. They could have all maybe follow in Miss Lashandria's footsteps. Since they want to follow her of everything else, they could have at least followed her in making that decision. So it seems that they don't really, again, it's like everyone's collecting a check. Now it's nothing really much to go by.
Yeah, I've never seen a show where you've had so many followers and one leader, one person who decides to leave. Even on Real Housewives of Atlanta, like most of the ladies, although they'll have split opinions and stuff, but they don't just like ice someone out. Like that is just so high school, it just makes the show so toxic. And even if they have a situation, they will try to talk it out and they will try to film together. But on this show, it's just like you have the exec or one of the producers who's also a castmate.
Exactly. And it's like Shawnee's her role on this show, I think that it's definitely it's come to an end, especially with this season. Shawnee has abused her power as an exec, as one of the executive producers. She really has. And not in a good way either. She has manipulated of addressing some important things, and she has been on the side where she has been in a very debatable issue. Like she has not made any point or whatsoever to address what is actually happening, and not just, again, like you said, the important things that are going on in our society right now, and it seems like we cannot cover this up. Like we cannot pretend like this is not happening. Like there's colorism, and we're out there saying, this matters, all life, this matters, but we can address what's actually, and that's colorism on your show.
Yeah.
So it's like if you can't, how can you go out there and address what's actually happening around the world, if you can't even address that issue that's going on within the group?
Yeah. I'm just like, this season finale, I'm just like, Jackie. Like, how are you going to do OG? Like you just did. You just met these ladies, and Jennifer hasn't really been Team Jackie from day one, She also ridiculed you with Evelyn and Shawnee, and you're going to do the one person who really had your back, you're going to do her like that because offer a check. And the funny thing is that the series is not even, it was shortened and there's no reunion. So you lose a good friend, and possibly we don't even know if the show's going to be coming on. Hey guys, if you're joining in, please make sure you like. Also, join us in this conversation. What are your thoughts about the season finale? We're just talking about, pretty much the season finale, talking about Jackie, what she did to OG. Let us know your thoughts. Please join the conversation. It makes the conversation fun. So, yeah. But I'm just upset like what Jackie did. I'm just like, it's just not cool at all. Like you just don't do that to a good friend. But then again, it's reality television.
Yeah, but still, Jackie knows how, how Evelyn has been there for her. Not Evelyn, but OG has been there for her, and knowing that she's a patriot, like she's been on this show for how many seasons, and she couldn't tell like, when it's time to, boss up and, really assert herself. And I feel like this was a time that Jackie needed to do that. But then again, it's like, how can you actually ask Jackie to have OG's back when, again, like I said a few seasons ago, Jackie was also labeled as a colorist.
By other cast members, right? Like we all
Exactly.
saw that. So
So how can Jackie herself is even she herself is not admitted. I don't think she's ever admitted that,
I
I
mean, who's gonna
that
admit that though? Like,
exactly. So
who?
it's like but how can now that we say, okay, we don't, with whole OG situation, we can't expect that Jackie to have OG's back if Jackie herself probably don't actually know what colorist is, or when being a colorist is taking place.
And they're
So
all. It's just funny because Jackie carried this matter in her own head, like has carried this whole matter in her head, because it's like what OG said didn't even apply to you. You like they're intermixing racism and colorism all together. I'm not racist. I'm not colorist. And it's just like, well, she never said you were racist. She was talking about somebody else, but she she said there's colorism in this group. She didn't say specifically. She said there is colorism in the group. Like, how do you mix that up with she's labeling everyone a color? She said there is colorism in this group.
exactly, it's like they want to hear what they want to hear. So how do you again mix that up? It's like, because they want to just hear what they want to hear. It's not, they don't want to hear OG. They don't want to hear what OG has to say. So again, I wouldn't put nothing past Jackie. Jackie has never, came out and said, this is some of my actions. And yes, even as OG was saying that, Jackie, it seemed like Jackie was trying to brush her off, like basically let it just kind of um
Bullying her to admit to something, to admit to pretty much she's making accusation as a
making
friend.
accusations like this is not her experience. So
It
it's
doesn't
like,
have to be it's like Jackie, it doesn't have to be your experience. It's OG is telling you this is her experience, this is how she feels. Why are you bullying her to make a decision that, to pretty much say that her experience is not valid, like what she's been saying is a lie? And why would OG even say she's a lie? Why her and Evelyn are right currently, like they're suing each other? So
exactly,
why would she even admit, like, how does that even sound?
exactly.
Lord, yeah, I'm just disappointed in Jackie. I'm disappointed in Jennifer, and that apparently Jennifer and Evelyn, they're back cool and stuff, and they're just right. Jennifer's back right into the Shondia O'Neill's and and Evelyn's wave. So I'm just like, Jennifer, do you not realize that your friendship with Evelyn is just like, it's very toxic, it's very abusive. What friend throws a drink in your face and you are still in that you still want to be in that friendship in a part of that friendship. Who does that?
Yeah, it's Jennifer.
Yeah. I'm just like Jennifer girl, like, and then you want to say OG's a toxic one while OG has had your back. Like, it's just like, man, this life, reality television, no balance. It's just like I don't even know, like, what other shows are good. I mean, we knew this show was going to be, it was going to be a mess. I mean, but it's just kind of like, what is this what we're going to be expecting? Like people like icing other people out. It's just, it was sad to see my girl OG go like that, the way what Jackie did to her. But I'm just proud that she stuck to her experience and she stood up for herself. It was really, really tough. You have everyone coming at you in all kinds of ways, but OG's was so strong that she, pretty much stuck up for herself through this whole season.
Right. And I'm proud of OG. That's what I was saying. I was like, she doesn't need anyone to um have, but I mean it sucks that Jackie can even have it. It does suck because it's like OG has always had Jackie's back, but it seems like no one had her back. It's like it was OG against everyone.
Yeah, and it's like, yeah. So in the future, like, what do you see from OG, like the other castmates, and also like what do you see so far, like within the future? How do you see this playing out? And what do you think OG's next move is gonna be? OG likes to play. She doesn't play chess. Wait, how does the saying go? She doesn't play chess. She plays checkers. Okay, I don't know how the saying goes, but what do you expect? Like, what's in the future for OG?
I think OG. I definitely think that she's definitely going to still speak her truth. She's definitely going to shed some light into things. I don't know if basketball wise she's going to be back in basketball wise. I don't even know if this show is going to continue. I really don't know what the status of this show is. And I don't think OG is going to be coming back. And if she does come back, it's probably due to her contract. But hopefully we'll see OG in some, hopefully she'll get some gigs. I don't really know exactly where, but with the way things are going, I believe that there's definitely more opportunities for OG. Um,
Yeah, I definitely believe, like, I see good things happen in the future for OG. That this show just was not for her. It just doesn't match, like, who she is, especially having to conform into a group and be like conform into a group where you have a group of people who think as a collective. And it's like what one leader, which is Vashandia, whatever her name.
Shawnee, Vashandria, Shawnee.
Sorry. Whatever Sean, why can't she just go by Vashandia?
Because she doesn't, again, it's just Shawnee. And that's just Shawnee wants to go by what she wants to go by.
So Vashandia, aka Shawnee. So she just doesn't want to conform into a group of people who think the same way, and that's just not who she is. Like, she likes to fit out instead of fit in, and the other ladies like to fit in. If they do come back next season, who is going to be the target? They always like to have a target.
That's a good one.
And also, okay, I have to mention something. We said that British was going to come back. Where's British? Dominique, Jennifer's friend, I think she was supposed to make a cameo. Like, what happened? That's how I know the season was cut short, because British was supposed to make a comeback, Dominique, and Jennifer, like, where's Dominique?
Yeah, the season, it was definitely about to cut short because again, nothing was being they weren't going anywhere. I mean, to even think about, there was two different houses. The ladies were in two different houses, and it nothing was moving. Nothing was moving forward. Not until again this issue got addressed, and it just seems like it was for me. I would have rather being in two different places. I
Yeah,
mean,
it was
because
a
it just
mess.
yeah, it just didn't make sense that they were had two different houses, and you have the mean girls on one side and you had the other girls, and it was just all over the place, honestly.
It really was. I'm just why was Shawnee even there if she wasn't going to be a full participant? And I do think that this was Shawnee's kind of she just this was her role, like her like when she left. I just feel that she knew that everything was just going, she could just see everything's going downhill. So that was like her exit out.
Possibly,
It wasn't
possibly.
because, yeah, it wasn't because of OG or what OG is doing, because OG is like in a whole different house. Literally. How can OG like get into under people's skin and she's in a whole different house?
Exactly.
Yeah. And then you had Malaysian Kristen, they went back to Atlanta. And I'm like, how is this show even going to work out if most of the castmates live in the South? Like half of the castmates live in the South.
Hmm.
Yeah, I think I have a feeling that Shawnee is thinking about rebooting the show, but it won't be Basketball Wives of LA. It'll probably be Basketball Wives of like in the South somewhere. Because of course she lives there.
But seriously though, Shawnee needs to, I don't see how you can not discuss this. Not
Yeah.
This is, it's for real. Like I see you can't move forward if you are not able to address this issue. Have a sit down talk with one on one with OG.
Like,
I
how do
don't know
you
how
even sleep at night knowing
even
that you tore another,
yeah,
how you treated another black woman? Like, how do you even lay your, like what you did
and
is
forget
not.
that you kids. Exactly, and forget that you have kids that are just like the same, has the same futures um as
As
OG,
OG.
right? So it's to a point where at some point in their lives they may experience something similar to this, and it's like, okay, Shawnee, what do you tell your kids?
Mhm. Are you supposed to
And
tell them, oh, oh, it didn't happen? Like, what do you tell your kids?
being watching Basketball Wives for so long, since for a while now. So even if Shawnee was to bring another franchise of Basketball Wives, it's just the fact that the way she left this particular Bass franchise is questionable to what to now. If she was to go to Houston and maybe bring another one, it's just like, how am I able to trust the executive producer? What are her motives? What are her intentions if she left this one like this? It's like,
Right.
what is the sisterhood? What is the point of the sisterhood? What exactly what are we empowering? What is exactly is Shawnee's what is she going for? So that to me right there is to be a supporter of Basketball Wives.
Right. And it's kind of like, yeah, even if she was to go to it, it's kind of like it's still going to scatter. Like she already scattered one franchise. Like it's still going to the same thing, is still going to like happen. And just let's say, like, okay, Shawnee's the producer. Just imagine if Andy Cohen did this, like just all of the, like, we'll get all kinds of right. Just imagine if it was a white person or another white, like a white producer who is doing the same thing that Shawnee is doing to a black woman. So it's kind of like, Shawnee, how does that make you look? You're being dismissive.
Very dismissive, very. And it's not even the fact that Shawnee it's like Shawnee has not even met um she's sending out people to go speak with OG. She hasn't really said, you know what, even had a conversation with her, even called her up and said, "Oh, hey OG, you know what's going on?" Like none of that. It just baffles me. I really think that this was a short end to the season because nothing is moving forward, like nothing. And that's what exactly what
Mhm.
OG wanted was for Shawnee to speak to her, was to have a conversation. Why is it the fact that Malaysia, Kristen are the ones who are coming over to speak with her?
Exactly. And it's kind of like, yeah, like, why do you have castmates going to talk to, like, you are the EP, you're the executive producer, you're not having a conversation with her. You know, you could have made resolved this not on the show. Obviously, you have OG's number. You could have called, but she doesn't want to. She doesn't care. Shawnee does not care at all, and it's just exhausting talking to her, talking about this because you want people to support you when it's happening to you. You know, you want people to. It's like you don't know how it feels until it happens to you.
Exactly. So I think that it's definitely they had it exactly where they needed it, cut it short, and everyone move on. Because again, it's not go. We're not getting anywhere with this. We're not.
Right. And the thing is, you know, they want to play with the audience's emotions. I mean, that's what reality television does. But it's kind of like the audio just does not even sound um, how it's supposed. Obviously, it's she's doing it for her friend Evelyn. Obviously.
Yeah, it's just to have Evelyn make OG look bad.
Hmm. And look at all. It's like the same. You guys scattered Miami, and you also now you like LA was doing fine when it was just like, you know, Drea and just Malaysia, Brandy. They were fine. You know, they had their own little situation going on, but they didn't need you guys to come into the franchise and just scatter it. You guys have already, you know, it's kind of like this is just a track through two track records where they have scattered a whole franchise. Now, what franchise is going to be next?
Exactly. Maybe the she's possibly starting up. That's what I'm thinking.
Right. Anyways, okay. So, as far as all the other ladies, any like other pointers you want to, or insightful things you know you want to conclude when it comes to the other ladies, like Kristen and Malaysia and even Liza. Like we didn't even get a lot of Liza.
And that's exact. And I think I was saying something like that. I was actually thinking about Liza. I think Liza didn't even get to give us her storyline. Liza didn't even get to be Liza. She didn't get to enjoy while she was on the show. We forgot about, we forgot about the newbies because we were still stuck in this situation that could have resolved. And everything,
Exactly.
yeah.
Hmm.
So it seems it's just that the fact that again we have a selfish um executive producer who stuck in her ways. And yeah, what was the point of knowing you, oh, we're bringing them new cast members, but we are not inconsiderate that the cast members are also feeling this could also impact them as well. And it has, like, and then I think they, like you were saying, British Williams, who else that they were supposed to also be coming. So it's like they didn't even get a chance to do that.
All right. I'm just kind of like, you know, didn't even give us a chance to even meet British, or I mean, we met British, but they just didn't even give us a chance to get to learn the other ladies. And I just feel like I really don't think the season should have been cut. Like it wasn't supposed to be cut short. I just feel that, all the stuff that was going on, they just couldn't handle it. That's all it was. That's honestly all it was. Um, yeah. Do you know how to share? Do you know where I can get the link? We can share in the chat. Can you place the link in the chat, Lucy?
You said, do I know how to?
The link.
Oh, maybe you copy and paste.
Yeah, this was honestly this season finale. OG, OG. I'm sorry, you thought you had a friend on like in Jackie, but you got to realize Jackie's no one's friend. She's no one's friend at all.
I mean, but
At
it's funny. Like they are not Jackie's friends either. I feel like Jackie is also targeted as well. Like she's also made fun of. They don't take her serious. They think that she's crazy. They think she's cuckoo. So she's also looked down as well. So it's like Jackie is, yes, she's no one's friend, but at the same time, she's trying to lean into the side where they don't care about her either.
And for her to be, she's like literally the matriarch of the show. Like all the other shows who've had like a matriarch on the show, they're usually wise, they're usually insightful. Like we can see from Real Housewives of Potomac, we have Karen. She's usually very insightful, gives really good advice. Atlanta, who would you consider one of the matriarchs? Okay, Cynthia, very wise, very insightful.
And I mean, I'll say Cynthia basically, right?
Hmm. Yeah, like she
I,
respects herself. People need to learn how to respect themselves.
exactly. Agreed.
Yeah, it's just like I'm really just trying to see like what OG does, like what she's gonna pull out of the bag now, like what she's gonna do because this was just
It would be
awful.
interesting to actually, oh gee, possibly have her own, maybe have her own show. Um, Maybe come out with her own show. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I don't know exactly what she would be putting up, but it'll be interesting to kind of see her.
Yeah, she has a really nice like speaking voice, So,
Yeah,
but
but I'm really excited to see what her next move is, like honestly.
right, like I'm really because this must have been just very like taxing, just not even mentally and physically, especially for her.
Yeah, very. I think um this definitely extended to the point where it shouldn't have. It definitely went a long way. I feel like it should have had a stopping point.
Right. And they definitely should have had a stopping point, and they didn't. They just continued. They like to make someone the butt of the joke. That's what they like to do.
Yeah.
They like to make someone has to be the butt of the joke, and everyone just sits and laughs and makes fun of them. Yeah. Um, yeah, I think that's about. It's just exhausting talking about this. I mean, it's entertaining because in a way it's just like it's like you can't believe what you're seeing. You can't believe that it's actually like this is actually happening, but it is.
It's happening. I mean, it's happening worldwide. So and stuff.
Yeah. But all right, let's go ahead and end this live here. I think we've had pretty good session. We've been on almost for a couple minutes, but yeah. Any last minute thoughts? Any last minute thoughts?
No, I'm just enjoying those audios OG's keeps putting out. I mean, that's been entertaining.
Same. That was like that's better than the whole show. And if you haven't checked out the audio, we have it. You can go to OG's page. We also have it on our YouTube as well. Yeah, so if you haven't checked out the audio, we have that on our YouTube, and also just check out OG on Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a season! What a season! Just disgusting, just disgusting. You know, someone always has to be the butt of the joke. 1 year Cece, and it's probably if they do come back, Jackie's probably going to be the butt of the joke again, and then you'll have Jennifer. They'll probably fall out. Her and Evelyn. Yeah. Well, all right, guys, that is it for this live. If you watched the season finale, let us know what you think about it, your thoughts and your opinion. Thank you guys so much for joining us. For those who did, thank you guys so much. We really appreciate. And also be sure to like this video, also subscribe to our channel, and also check out the rest of our videos. We do reviews on Bravo shows, VH1 shows. Just we like reality television, so be sure to subscribe to our channel. It really, really helps us out. Thank you guys so much. Lucy, do you have any last minute words?
No, that's all I have to say. That's it. Just thank you again for joining us. Continue to like, share, and continue to support us. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. All right, guys. Thank you. Peace, love, blessings.